Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. I see dating in 2025 has just completely went down the crapper. You know, you got women out here asking, where do you meet men at? You know, my whole thing is the same way where you meet any damn body at. You don't meet nobody at no bar, no club, no church. You know, because you got the people from the bar and the club going to church the next damn morning. Those are horrible places to meet people. Best places to meet people? Shit. Grocery store, laundromat. You know, places that you go regularly. Not no place that everybody there going to have fun. People at laundromats and grocery stores are going there for a purpose. So, might be your best bet. But, you know, I'm starting to look at this situation where people are telling me, check out some of these YouTube videos. Man, it was this chick talking about her first date with this guy. She was talking about how she got 8 kids and her name is Thick Chick, something like that. And she said, anyway, they supposed to met at this restaurant. They meet at the restaurant. She showed up with 8 damn kids on the first date. You know, she ordered food, he ordered food. You know, he went to the bathroom and never came back. You know, he left. The girl did not have no money. You brung 8 kids to the first date. She said, you knew I had 8 kids. We a package deal. And, you know, people were saying, like, you knew that was the first date, right? You don't take no kids on a first date with somebody you don't know. Somebody said she was trying to feed her damn kids. You feed them somewhere else. You fuck around and found out she had to call her mom and her sister for them to send her some money to pay for this. Dude, this is crazy. Why would you even attempt that? You know, people are so caught up in themselves thinking that you got all these kids, somebody else supposed to be there to foot the bill. Oh, he knew I had 8 kids. He knew you had 8 kids. He thought you was getting a babysitter for he can, you know, go on a date with you, see what you about. See, the first date is about me learning you. This is what I'm telling people. Stop taking people to restaurants on first dates. Take them to a coffee shop, man. Coffee shop is what it is. When you sit there and have coffee, even though you may have lip whips and quips with each other, but you talking to one another. There's nobody eating. There's nobody not paying attention. They looking at their phone. Dude, at a coffee shop, if I realize me and you are not talking, you know, you're not interested or any damn thing else, man, that's it. No harm, no foul. I was watching one YouTube video where the woman ordered like the whole damn menu and was on the phone the whole damn time. You know, scrolling through her phone with all the food in front of her. And the dude was just looking like, what in the actual fuck? He got up, went to the bathroom and never came back. She couldn't pay the damn bill. Why would you do that? It's like the blatant disrespect. This guy was sitting at another table, and I thought this was a joke. It was real. The woman was like, you ain't gonna pay for my food. And I'm sitting there thinking like, okay. And the waitress was like, I'm confused. And he like, I'm confused. He said, I don't know this woman. They sitting at different tables, and she thinking just because she a woman, a man gonna pay for her food. Man, fuck out of here with that. Dude, look. Nowadays, you gotta vet all these women, man. You really do. There are 4 billion women. Don't ever get stuck on one person. Don't lose your man. Man, I'm just so in love with this person. Man, you better open your damn eyes and see the person for what they are. You know, like on a first date, don't take somebody to your home. As a guy, if you got your own place, never bring a woman to your home. Especially if she got kids, bro. First thing she thinking to herself, if she don't got her own place, well, you know, the kids can sleep in here. We can sleep in here, and maybe a kid can sleep on the couch. Bro, look, I ain't letting that shit happen. First date, you don't bring nobody over your house. Go get a hotel room like they used to do back in the day. They used to get motel rooms back in the day. They didn't bring nobody to their house. That's just how it was in the 70s and 80s. Now, people don't give a shit no more. They just bring them home. And I'm like, man, that's all kinds of wrong. You know, when I was younger and I had my own place, bro, I wasn't bringing nobody to my house. And I wasn't going over nobody else's either. Bro, come on. We got to be better. I'm like, shit, you could do anything. You could set me up. I could get hurt over there. I don't know you. That's why I say first date should be held outside, not inside of somebody. Oh, just come. Oh, no. Why you trying to get me over there so bad? Shit. I know so many guys be sitting here talking about, oh man, you turning down booty. You need to turn down booty, bro. You got to make it make sense to yourself. Ass ain't worth all that. You could get hurt. You know, and some people have died getting ass. I'm like, boy, you ain't even get the ass. You just died. You got robbed and killed. I'm like, this is crazy. Chicks out here walking around with no clothes on, talking about why guys looking at me so hard. Your ass is showing through your clothes. You got a thong on with a see-through ass pair of pants on, and you wondering why people looking. I'm trying to figure out why you out here like that. That's hot ass behavior. That's some whole type shit, man. You know, and I'm looking at why people sitting here saying, I can't believe guys don't want to date women with kids. Dude, it's a preference now. A lot of my friends who are single don't date women with kids. I don't hang around a lot of single people, but if they single, I can't do shit about it. I just limit the amount of time I stay around. And you know, and I know y'all like, I don't get it. Why wouldn't, bruh, look, I'm married. I can't do the same shit you do. And I don't want to be around that shit that you can do, bro, because see, proximity is a motherfucker. You know, you can get your own self in a whole lot of trouble, and people don't understand that. Man, these women out here are hot as hell. And they looking for somebody to support them, sponsor them, sugar daddy them. Dude, nobody got time for that. Dude, women out here getting away ass. This young lady told me, I don't understand why grown 50-year-old men dating 25-year-old girls. I said, ain't no 25-year-old girl. That's a grown-ass woman. I said, you know, this is the problem. She said, why would he date her instead of me? I said, well, she got her job. She got a good job, her own place, her own car, her bills are under control, and you don't got a job. You got a house full of kids, nowhere to live, and ain't got no damn money. I said, you got to think about that. He looking at his best option. Come on, that shit got to make sense somewhere in there. You know, this is not me bashing women. This is me just saying, look, guys, look, you got to think better. You know, it took me a long time to stop thinking about, you know, like, ooh, I can get some ass. You know, talking to chicks and getting to know them, just being friends. And you end up dating somebody that you was a friend with, man, and that shit go left wrong real quick. Why? Because you know this person. And you know this person is a constant red flag. She like Chinese New Year. She got so many things wrong with her, man, it's not even worth you dating her. But you do anyway, and you stick with it, and you think you doing something, and all you end up doing is fucking yourself up because this person is not worth your time. I was asked a while ago, do your past remember you? Yes, they do remember you. You know, people said to me, some of the people I work with was like, man, you make it seem like you somebody good. No, it ain't that. People remember how you treated them. Bruh, it ain't nobody out there treating people like you did them. Man, people are pumping and dumping. That's what they doing. Man, there's so many women out here, man. There ain't no need to stay with one, man, especially one that shit ain't together and, you know, got so many problems. You like, shit, I'm just pumping and dumping. Dude, you got guys out here that will not take a picture with a woman. Man, and plus, put it like this, they don't put you up on their Facebook, they don't put you anywhere. Dude, when you had a guy that did all that for you, trust me, you may not remember that shit during that time, but you remember it now when ain't nobody doing that shit for you. Bro, trust me. People make it seem like, you know, you didn't do nothing. You did a lot. Bro, just dealing with a crazy-ass woman is a lot. Nowadays, man, you know, a lot of people don't understand. You gotta show and prove. There's so many people out here doing right by people, but people are not feeling that. People don't want that. People want, you know, nowadays to be heard and, you know, cry over some shit. Bro, you know you can't always cry. Man, I've been sitting here to myself looking at all these hot-ass women walk around with just barely nothing on, and I'm like, man, it's getting fucked up and fucked up. These crazy-ass women got their kids dressed in like this. That's wrong on so many levels. This is the time that you got to get yourself together. Pull it together and move around, man. This is why, as a society, shit is going down the toilet, man. There's no more morals. You got women out here fucking on the first date. Should never do that. Bro, ain't nothing good gonna come from that. You busting it down for a real one on a first date and thinking he gonna call you for a fucking second date. Dude, please. Man, no, man, we consider adults. You are. But see, the thing is, you don't know enough about this motherfucker. On the first phone call, when y'all first talk to each other, y'all talking about sex. Come on, man. You don't do that shit. You get to know the person you talking to. If they talk about sex, man, steer the conversation away from it. Why? Because you need to know who the fuck you talking to. You need to know if this person, man, is really who that person is. You could be talking about sex with a man in there. You don't know. These dating sites, man, you never know. Man, some of these people pretend to be every damn thing and be something totally different. You be getting catfish. So I tell you, be careful, man. People be so quick, man. She asked for a dick pic. I'm sending her one. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Something sound off about this too quick. No, man, I'll be like, yeah, all right. Man, I never met her, man. She won't even do a FaceTime with me. I said, yeah. He ain't gonna do no FaceTime with you? He's like, what the hell you mean by that? I said, dude, that sound like a dude. You send pics to a dude? That motherfucker was too done. Oh, man, dude, it had me laughing with that shit. You know, I could be an ass sometimes. I was like, man, you sending pictures to a dude. Dude went and deleted that shit real quick. I said, bro, you got to be careful with that shit out there. I said, he deleted the chick, I guess. Oh, man, I said, bro, I wouldn't even put myself out there. I said, man, crazy people doing crazy shit. I said, man, look, whole behavior at the best. They think you're supposed to worship somebody that's fucking everybody. Bro, I don't got no time for that. Man, look. Man, them dating sites when I was on there many, many years ago, man, they were just, the women was hot as hell. They were worse than the guys. You know, they were just telling you all kind of shit, man. And I just laughed, man, and I just looked. And after everything was said and done, God got me out of that nonsense because it was just nonsense, bro. I look at everybody now and I say, man, dude, I look at where I came from and I just be like, man, thank you. You know, everybody that I looked at from the past, man, I realized I never even knew them, man. And, you know, the women that I dated, I never knew them. Because, you know, for people to do what they do, shit, if you can't know, man, I say I don't know nobody. Because, see, people do shit like that. You know, you come to find out different shit and you be like, man, I never seen that coming. But you constantly saying, but I know this person. Man, I don't know no damn body. People do shit all day long. They fuck over you left and right, then get mad when you ain't trying to hit no more. Man. But being honest, man, I appreciate all y'all, bro. It's just real. I think sometimes we don't understand that there's so much at stake out here. Man. That is crazy. But till later, thank you for watching. Peace out.